Hey Eagle fans, before we start today's video, help us get to 13,000 subscribers here on Philadelphia Eagles now. We're like 30 away from getting to 13,000. I'd love to give it for the start of the NFL season, just a couple of days away. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead, scroll down, click the big red subscribe button, help us out, try and get to 13,000 with your help. Appreciate each and every one of you. Without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump into today's video. All right, let's go and jump into the latest Eagles news and rumors, which will be the final Eagles news and rumors for the actual start of the NFL season. This is being filmed on a Friday morning. That way you guys can have the latest news getting you ready for kickoff, obviously 1 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday against the Washington football team. Let's start with this whole Zach Ertz stuff, which is just getting weirder and weirder, and people are freaking out right now. So did you see the NFL Network interview Zach Ertz did a couple of days ago? If you did not, you probably heard about it. And what Zach Ertz basically said, he does not expect to be an Eagle in 2021, which is like, whoa, Zach, like you signed for the next 2 years. Like, what do you think is going to actually happen to you? We're going to get into his comments here in just a second. But as we know, the Eagles and Zach Ertz had started talking about restructuring his contract and giving him a new deal, all in the wake of Kittle and George Kelsey both getting their new deals as well. But as we saw, these talks have kind of deteriorated to the point where the Eagles are not talking with Zach Ertz right now. There are no conversations in terms of a new contract, which means Ertz will just play this season out on his deal and then wait and see what happens in 2021. Before I give you exactly what Zach Ertz said, can everyone just calm down for a second, right? Zach Ertz is not going anywhere this year, and after the end of this year, they're going to figure things out. I still expect him to probably be an Eagle in 2021. Here's what Ertz said, though, that freaked everybody out. Quote, "It's been frustrating at times. It's been difficult. I've said all along I want to be here for a long time. I don't know for sure if that feeling is mutual, but I know I'm going to play this year like it's my last year. I'm going to leave everything I possibly have in the tank for this team and this city because that's what this city deserves, nothing less." Again, I don't know for sure if that feeling is mutual, meaning the Eagles want him back in 2021. Here's what I can tell you. The Eagles obviously want Zach Ertz back in 2021, but they want him back at the right price. You have got to realize that despite what Zach Ertz has done for Philadelphia in his 7 years, which is a ton, right? He had the game-winning catch in Super Bowl 52. Like, he's one of the most important Eagles in my lifetime. But you've got to look at it from a business decision, and a business decision is going to have to be made when we get to the end of the 2020 season and the start of the 2021 offseason. Look at this. The NFL.com has a great little paragraph on this that explains it perfectly. Quote, "For a team with over $250 million in projected cap liabilities for 2021, and a cap that's not going to land anywhere near that, the Eagles are going to need to shed salary. They can save a net total of $4.7 million in space by cutting Ertz after this season, making it seemingly inevitable with financial gymnastics ahead, with Goddard accounting for a mere $1.78 million in 2021, the writing appears to be on the wall." So what are they saying? The Eagles are in cap hell in 2021. We've said this. They're like $50 million over the cap. You have to get under it. There isn't, well, we're going to stay over it. No, you have to be under the cap. Now, there are multiple ways to do this. You're going to see a lot of people either restructure deals or people are just going to be let go straight up. I think what they're going to try and do is sign Zach Ertz to a fair contract that, is obviously worth what he's worth in terms of his skill and ability, but also looks to the future and says, hey, Zach, you're 30 years old, right? You're not getting any younger. You've had 7 years of wear and tear on the body, plus your replacement, Dallas Goddard, is pretty good. And if Goddard has a great year in 2020, look for them to just go ahead and keep him, obviously, and then cut Zach Ertz in 2021. Again, don't panic. Calm down. This does not affect the Eagles in 2020. Ertz is going to play this entire year. Once we see how he looks, if he plays great, guess what? They'll probably re-sign him. If he doesn't, and you start to see that, age start to dip a little bit, then it's a business decision. You let him go, and you ride with Dallas Goddard. I mean, listen, it was hard whenever they let Don McNabb go and then Brian Dawkins go, but both of those were clear business decisions that were no harm, no foul, nothing personal here. We just need to get younger and better. And I'll be honest, Dawkins had like one decent year in Denver, and he was still basically at the end of his career, and McNabb never really figured things out in Washington. So the Eagles have been right when they've let guys go, even if it seems a little bit early to some fans. But I just see this as just a slow down, calm down, let's see what happens, and then we can discuss this going forward. Just calm down a little bit, okay? Ask this question real quick. Pin comment down below. Is this Ertz last year in Philadelphia? I want to know it from you guys. Type Y down below for yes. Type N down below for no. All right, moving on. I promise, as I always do, to give you guys the latest injury news. And the problem with that is that I can get burned sometimes in terms of, oh, Thomas doesn't know what he's talking about because this person did practice when he said that they weren't going to. Here's the deal. I film these in the morning, majority of the time, in the morning here. It is 10 o'clock on the East Coast, which means things can change in the afternoon. So I go on based on what we heard yesterday and the rumors I hear from today. So yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever it was, I said, listen, it's unlikely Reagor is going to go ahead and play. He's been limited in practice. Well, right after that video was uploaded, then later on in that day, he was a full participant in practice. So people were like, oh, Thomas was wrong. No, I just didn't have the information in front of me yet because I filmed in the morning to get it out to you as quickly as possible. Here's what we know as of Friday morning, right? Friday morning, okay? Put that in your head. Friday morning. Reagor has a very good chance of playing on Sunday. He was a full participant in practice yesterday, and I will say this, he's expected to play. Doesn't mean he will, okay? Let me say it again. Right now, he's expected to play. They could come out later on Friday, or they could come out Saturday morning and say, hey, Reagor, we're going to hold him out. We don't want him to play. But as of right now, when you're a full participant in practice, that tells me here on Friday morning that he is most likely going to go ahead and play. Bleeding Green Nation agrees. Listen to this. Reagor was looking pretty active in Wednesday's practice, despite being listed as limited, so this makes sense. It's still not perfectly clear if he'll actually play, though, and the Eagles might want to be cautious with their rookie first-round pick, but maybe he's just ready to play. First off, I'm shocked how quickly he has been able to come back. But with that being said, I still think he's probably going to be a game-time decision. I expect him to play, but don't be surprised if he doesn't, because, again, he was limited a couple of days ago and then was a full participant just yesterday. While I show you guys the injury report, head down in the comments, predict the score for the game on Sunday. I want your score predictions for the the Washington football team versus the Eagles. Let me show you the injury report right here. So here are the other players who were injured in terms of Philadelphia. Javon Hargrave did not participate in practice yesterday. Alshon Jeffrey didn't either. It's safe to bet both of those guys will not play on Sunday. Barnett was limited. Corey Clement has a new hamstring thing, I believe. He was limited. Johnson was limited, and Miles Sanders were limited, but both Johnson and Miles Sanders are for sure going to go. So out of that list of 6 players, I think Barnett, Clement, Johnson, and Sanders are all going to play, from what I'm hearing, barring some sort of change on Saturday, and it looks like Reagor is probably going to have a chance to play as well. But I don't expect to see Hargrave with the pec, and for sure not Jeffrey on Sunday. Regardless of if Reagor actually plays or not, it's not a big deal because the Eagles have enough wide receivers, obviously, on their active roster who I'm confident in. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Greg Ward, Deshaun Jackson. They're going to be okay. I expect him to play. If I was going to put money on it, he's going to go ahead and play based on what we've heard this week, but don't be surprised if he gets downgraded to out, and then they trot him out there next week when they take on the L.A. Rams. Okay, regardless of that, and exciting stuff happening right now in terms of Chat Sports and what we got in terms of sale items for the Eagles 2020 gear. So with the season here, right, the Eagles season is here. Have you gotten your fresh new Eagles gear yet? If you haven't, head over to chatsports.com/Eagles2020. A ton of the latest 2020 gear is up there and at a great price on sale. We got hoodies, because it's going to be getting cold here pretty soon. T-shirts, you got jerseys, I'll throw in the hats as well. A ton of great products, again, all on sale. That way you can freshen up your look every single year. I always pick up a brand new pair of NFL gear just because they release the new stuff. The Nike stuff is always sweet. I want to look good and rep the Eagles with the latest stuff that they're wearing on the sidelines. We got a ton of options right now. Again, chatsports.com/Eagles2020. Link is down below in the description box. Get your latest Eagles gear right now. Final bit of news here on a Football Friday, let's just call it that, updating you guys on the Eagle injury news and also the Jason Peter news, which we talked about a couple of days ago in terms of restructuring his deal and now officially being the left tackle of the Eagles. Well, essentially what happened was the Eagles first restructured Lane Johnson's deal, which freed up $5 million. That doesn't necessarily mean they're paying him $5 million less. They just kind of move some bonus money around so he makes the same, but the Eagles save $5 million. They didn't need to do that to free up salary for Jason Peters, but it helps out to free up salary for Jason Peters, whose deal is now worth $8 million a year. Up from $4, potentially up to $8 million if he were to, play the full season and get all of his incentives and stuff like that. I'm glad they finally paid Peters because he had been saying, listen, I'm not going to play left tackle unless I get a pay raise. Then he said he'd play left tackle without the pay raise, and then the Eagles went ahead and gave him the pay raise anyway, which is great news. So drop a like right now for the bodyguard getting paid, right? I think it's good. I mean, he said to himself, hey, I'll play right guard, and then they need him to play left tackle. He said, yeah, I'll play left tackle, but you got to pay me like a left tackle, and thankfully the Eagles finally did. Drop a like for that. The Eagles' O-line is going to be something to watch, obviously, on Sunday. We'll talk more about this probably in a video yesterday in terms of the Eagles getting ready for the Washington football team. It's a good front four. I mean, they got Chase Young. They have a bunch of great Ryan Kerrigan. They have some really good pass rushers. And the Eagles' O-line, as it stands, is a little bit suspect. We'll have to go ahead and wait and see. The one question I had with Jason Peters is the same that I had at the start of the offseason and when they didn't re-sign him originally. Excuse me, can he stay healthy? Right? Each of the last 5 years, he has had some sort of injury. Now, 2019 and 2016, he played all 16 games, but still, he missed some snaps in and out of games and probably missed a quarter in some of these games because he deals with injuries more often than not. He is old. He's aging. If he can stay healthy, this deal for $8 million a year is totally obviously worth it. But if he were to drop out and only play half the season or something like that, then the Eagles got to scratch their heads and be like, man, this is why we didn't want to pay you. But with the injuries they had to go ahead and do it anyway. So there you go. The latest news here on a Friday morning. Again, things can always change Friday afternoon and Saturday, so stay tuned for updates on that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I appreciate each and every one of you. One more video tomorrow, and then it's week 1 in the National Football League. I cannot wait for the Eagles versus the Washington football team. All time we have for today here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. I'm your host, Thomas Mott, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.